Góðan daginn, welcome to the Project Pal. My name is Gunnhildur. I'm an Icelander, live in Iceland, and this is my podcast, vlog, chat type of thing. We'll talk mainly about yarn, about knitting, crocheting, and anything fiber related because it is interesting and I keep learning something new. I also talk quite a bit about the weather because I am your stereotypical Nordic person of the middle-aged persuasion. Those were words. Because the weather affects what I do. And I also have something to talk about if all else fails. And also because I live in Iceland, and one of the things that my country is known for is being very geologically active. And, when things happen with the myriad of volcanoes, I've decided to talk about it because the amount of false information that has been on the internet for the past months, particularly like a year ago. It's a year ago since they had to evacuate the town of Grindavík, which is hundreds of kilometers away from me, like very far away. The amount of false information that certain individuals on social media were just spreading just to get exposure and ad revenue. Like, volcanoes are a big thing. They deserve to be, well, they demand respect. They demand that you pay attention. But hey. And a part of that respect in my mind means that you do not exasperate their effects. They are already a big thing, but they are not Godzilla. They are not Godzilla. So yeah, currently, as far as I'm aware, because I haven't heard any news about it, currently things are fine. Occasional earthquakes, both in the area around Grindavík, but they aren't detecting like any noticeable worrisome activity. Like, it's still, the bugger is still expanding because of course it is. Other areas, I mean, there's the occasional earthquake. But for the most part, Sjønnesrettan, this is not a challenge. They've been behaving. On happier news, let's talk about me. Because that's why I'm making this video. So today is the 10th of November. That means it's 10 days until my birthday, and I will be officially middle-aged. And can't wait. So I haven't really planned anything big. I have gotten myself some birthday presents. I can't show you because I literally covered it in stuff. But I bought this table from an Icelandic yarn store called Fristingasjoppan, or the Shop of Temptations, which is such a good name. It's basically a coffee table, you could say, or a side table with a I'm only thinking of Icelandic words. Tray. Yeah, the top is like a big tray, so it has like sides going up, which means that if you put something like, a ball of yarn, it's not gonna roll off. And the underneath that there's like a basket, and I've already filled it with yarn, and the top of it is already filled with projects that I need to finish. So I'm not joking, because it's a mess straight away. But useful, because that means that I've already emptied like a handbag. I swear other people must be doing this. Like, I don't like when I have like nice handbags or like tote bags or something, and I'm not using them, I put yarn in them, so at least they're, not, so I'm not storing air, I'm storing yarn. So I emptied a whole bag and quite a bit of another one, and I realized that I already rediscovered some planned projects. And on top of planning the projects, I literally printed out the patterns that I had already planned to make with that yarn. So it was set to go like 3 or 4 projects set to go, and I just put them in a bag. I was like, yeah, gonna work on that next, and now rediscovered them, which is fine. I mean, that means that I definitely have something to work on. Now the problem is, I brought this with me on, we're going to talk about that later. I brought this with me on last night. So I have bought at some point this absolutely lovely drops alpaca mix in this. Look at the color of that. Like, I usually don't like to go for these like grayish colors, but I just liked that one. So here's the label for the color and dialogue. So this is my 4th cast on. And in theory, and I know this is a really, really simple shawl, as soon as I figure it out, but I can't get my little brain cells around it. It's this blue waterfall. And I know it's simple, like, you can just look at that picture. It's not complicated. The problem is, okay, here's the pattern. It's not written down, it's in a picture, and that's fine. That's usually fine. Except that round 1, you start on pattern A1 and then move to A2. Same row. And then the row after, you go A2 to A1. And what I have a really hard time trying to figure out is that usually you read from right to left. Except my brain just isn't accepting this. I'm having a really hard time figuring it out. And I thought that the picture would help me. It doesn't, because that's not how she's, all of the pictures she's wearing the shawl, so I can't see how it looks when you spread it out, which I need to see it spread out so I can figure it out, because my brain, I'm just not. So I haven't found any pictures of the shawl just, in its finished form, spread out so I can see it. So my plan B, is that I'm gonna take this pattern, I'm gonna redraw it in a notebook like this one, and hopefully by drawing it out, like literally putting it down how it needs to go, I should be able to figure this thing out. Because I think it's the way that the pattern is displayed that my brain is just cutting out. My brain cells aren't raining. So I don't like the idea of just not doing anything on knit nights. Like that's hours upon hours, and I'm there to have fun. And if I'm not having fun because I can't do the pattern that I'm working on, or trying to work on, I need to figure something out. So I did. So I spent money that I wasn't gonna go into. Like the amount of yarn that I have already, I should not have. I should have had Plan B with me already. I didn't. Thank you. Of course I don't have this prepared. Why would I have it prepared? So, here. There we go. Oh, love this new phone. So what I did instead was I went and had a look at the yarn available. And I really wanted to continue working with the alpaca because it's really, really soft. Insanely soft. And I was limited by the fact that I didn't have any other knit needles with me except for those 3mm ones that I'm going to be using for that one pattern, for that one project. So I was stubborn at that point. But I did have crochet needles of like 3 sizes, I believe. And after a lot of searching, I found this. It's Sweet Caress, made by Drops Alpaca and Kid Silk. And luckily, my lovely little coffee shop has it. So I found this lovely, like reddish brown color, and this. On top of that, I needed 2 of these and 2 of these, and she only had 2 of these, so I'm like, destined. So I very happily got back to crocheting, which is, made me very, very happy because that meant that I could actually do something. So you use a 5mm crochet hook. I've got this wooden one. Can't remember what type of crochet hook it is, but this is how far I got last Thursday. So this is gonna be my Thursday project until it's finished, because clearly I need to be working on the shawl when at home. Apparently it's just one of those projects, at least until I've got it down. And yeah, I'm very happy with it. And also, it's such a soft one. It's gonna be such a soft, nice, like, color. I like. Very, very happy. So, it worked out. I'm not overly happy with the fact that I spent money when I wasn't going to. The plus side is that on knit nights we do get discount on yarn. A very good discount. So, worked out, but at the same time I've got enough yarn. Like I had literally just tidied up my space a tiny bit, so I was terribly aware of the amount of projects that I have that are waiting for me, and I was gonna get started working on one that has been waiting for me for I don't want to think about how long, and I couldn't. On the other hand, that color is probably gonna make a really, really nice gift for someone. Definitely. So, apart from that, my other shawl is going pretty well. Like, I've gotten this far. Now I've reaching the last bit of the purple. Can I get this up? Yes, I can. And as you can see, I've gotten to the black and purple, so it's not much left. Of course, these cakes, I mean, this is 1,000 meters, that's a kilometer or 1093 yards of yarn. I love these cakes, but they are a marathon. They are not a sprint. Speaking of sprints, yesterday, the 9th of November, was the yearly Nordic Word War. Previously affiliated with NaNoWriMo, or National Writing Month, and that is a huge thing. Listen, so my other hobby is writing. I like sitting down at the end of every day and write a little bit of the nonsense, but it gives me sense of accomplishment. So I think it was like 3 or 4, I think it was 4 years ago, I actually started participating in NaNoWriMo, and it was fun. It actually got me properly into writing, because if you don't know, NaNoWriMo is basically this self-imposed challenge of writing 50,000 words of a story in a single month, and which is, I mean, it's a fantastic thing. The problem, and I'm not participating anymore because basically Nano dropped the ball. They seriously dropped the ball, and in quite a myriad of ways when you really think about it. There's literally a Google Docs that is apparently really, really, really big, so I haven't actually read it. But what I remember, because this all went down in the past year, last year there began rumors about improper conduct on one of the forums. Now, the forums were one of the main ways that people were communicating with one another all across the United States, all across the world, basically. And of course, it was moderated. Another thing about Nano is that they are a charity, and their stated objective was, I don't know if it is anymore, supporting young writers. So I had been donating ever since I found out about it, because there's nothing better in my mind than to donate to a good charity, and one that supports younger people to get the education to write and to read. That sounded really fantastic. And then you start finding out other things, and it's just like leaves a bad taste in your mouth, because apparently most of that money went into private pockets and not really to the stated charity. But that is a rumor, and I haven't really seen proper proof of the matter. But I'm not donating if things aren't clear. Convoluted is gonna get worse. So this rumor pops up about, again, improper behavior towards young writers. We're talking minors. Apparently one of the moderators on the forums, who was working with younger writers, was trying to direct some of them towards a web page that was dedicated to the, how can I say this politely, the obsessive, disturbing appreciation of feet. And that, of course, is not something that can be tolerated. You cannot behave in any manner like that towards minors. Not towards adults, but when it comes to minors. I mean, honestly, go take a long walk off with a short dog. Like, I'm sorry, but... And how did the Nano owners and all that deal with it? Shut off the forums. Without warning. Instead of actually dealing with this person in particular, they just shut off the forums so they didn't have to worry about it. I never used the forums, but I do know that a lot of people did, and a lot of people had established relationships and friendships, and were finding a lot of advice amongst one another via the forums. So that wasn't exactly the best move. The next move that I remember is that they then decided to age restrict their pages. You know, the charity that supposedly was doing good work with younger people? Apparently those people were no longer allowed to use the page. Something doesn't add up here. And then they basically fired all of their volunteers because it was all built on volunteer work. And then they tried to push more responsibilities on the people that they weren't even paying any wages to, expecting them to take on all the responsibilities for everything, basically, without getting paid. So that's around about the time that I'm like, count me out. Count me out here. I believe that one of the final nails in coffin for most people. I mean, most people had already been like, you know what, no, this does not sound very right. How you've been treating people and how you responded to a very, very serious situation. They then decided to take sponsorship from an AI company. Now, AI, it can be fine, like in writing, AI editing, spelling, help like that. That's already established. That's already a thing. From what I can gather about this, though, is basically AI that makes the stories for you. The entire thing with Nano is that it's there to, you know, encourage you to write yourself. And I'm just venting here. I'm sorry. I'm still gonna go. And when they faced criticism for that, they turned around and called the people criticizing them ableists. They went there. They actually called the people giving sound criticism even ableist, because Nano decided to take the point of view that AI was indispensable for people with any kind of disabilities in order to write. That's about the time when I decided, you know what, let's just shovel this thing. Just, you dug your own grave, I'm gonna help you. By not participating anymore and not donating a krona more. Because claiming that disabled people cannot write or be creative and that they need AI technology in order to do so is insulting to every single thinking human being. I'm sure that pretty much everyone could take a look at previous and current writers and maybe make calculations just rough estimations. How many of established, well-known, well-respected, beloved authors have been and are, in some shape or form, disabled? Writing, this creative outlet, has and is often the one thing that people facing crippling illness, physical restrictions, mental restrictions, this has often been their outlet. And to basically disrespect all that just so you can justify having an AI sponsor? They were already down, but goodness gracious, they just keep digging. So not only did they completely drop the ball with their, charity with junior writers by failing, they then do not seem able to comprehend what they themselves have created. So yeah, which is a long way to go that or explain that from the second year that I started participating in Nano, I mean, I only participated 3 years, so not that long. My second and third year, I participated in the Nordic Word War, which is an annual thing and a lot of fun. So basically, it's a lot of fun, honestly. It's all in good faith, all in good fun. Light banter is allowed, but no actual personal attacks. None of that. We're just having this fun thing together. So you got the Danes, the Swedes, and the Norwegians. And then you got Finland and Iceland together because, I mean, the Icelanders need to be with someone and the Finns are fun. Usually, or the past 3 years, we've been 3 Icelanders participating, so... and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Like there's score points, it's both writing and you can also score points by and also it's through Discord, which is the only reason why I have Discord is because of the Word War. And you literally get score points by go cheer up the other countries, have the amount of glass of waters that you drink, because self-care is important. Like there's a section on the Google document that's just you score points for having a proper meal, drinking water, brushing your teeth, going out to get some fresh air, neck exercises, hand and wrist exercises, neck and shoulder, resting your eyes for 30 seconds. And then there's writing challenges. There's and another fun thing, because now there isn't a hosting country, now everyone is together in hosting. So usually there's been separate challenge of doing things that are stereotypical of the host country. So this year there was one stereotype, lovely one, for each country, and I'm not sure if the Icelandic one was the one where you go listen to the sound of seagulls, or the one where you go wear some knitted wear, because both of those could also be Norway, so I'm really not sure. But I did both. I literally just opened my door and listened to the listen to the sequels. So that was fun. Also, because there are 3 timelines within Nordic, so Iceland is usually the last one standing. I was literally the last person standing. It felt so weird. Very refreshing though too. I literally was a person to push the entire word count over 900,000. And that made me feel really, really good. So, and I also broke my own personal records for amount of words written in a single day. I managed 8,000 words. 8,000. I'm so proud of myself. And I've had a little bit of a headache today, but I also drank a lot of water, took frequent pauses away from my computer, and literally stood on the balconies breathing fresh air. So that definitely helped. So yeah, that was my Saturday. Participating in writing a lot of words with other Nordics and having a lot of fun. Hey, I'm halfway done with a single row. Just by chatting about that. That's good. So yeah, I am thinking I really need to remember to link all 3 pens down below this time. Goodness gracious, not forget it, because first off, this one is so simple and nice, and I cannot wait to wear it. Oh, look at the color change. And the shawl that I cannot figure out, I will as soon as I draw it out. And then the color of the cowl. It's gonna be so warm. That reminds me. Ooh, do I open it now or next week? Because I also bought myself a little birthday present. Now I'm gonna open it next weekend. So the package is gonna sit there. I'm gonna open it with you and show you what I got myself. I didn't really need, but I still got it because. But yeah, I think I've been over half an hour. Look at me go! So I've definitely been rambling enough today. I feel a lot better. Literally sitting down for a proper conversation. And yeah, so I will hopefully see you again next weekend. We'll see where we're at. We'll see how far along with this show I get. Like, listen, when I'm sitting down to watch a YouTube video, I'm working on that one. I'm probably gonna bring the cowl with me back to knit night because I can do that. We'll see about the knitted shawl. I'm not gonna give up until I get it done. Like, it's gonna be my. I was gonna think of an example, but I can't think of any. It's gonna be my big task. But yeah, that should be enough for me this weekend. We'll see where we're at next weekend. Hopefully all the volcanoes will be obedient, and yeah, we'll see. And take care. Bless.